Ashoka Precious Cargo is a D&D homebrew campaign with violent themes and adult language. Viewer discretion is advised.
Aloha Kako friends. Happy Friday. My name is Eli and I am your Dungeon Master.
I'm Aaron A. Pabst and I am Trig.
I'm Allegra and I'm playing Xauti.
I am Amanda and I'm playing Snuvall.
I'm Caleb and I'm Anchor.
I'm Sergio and I'm playing Rad the Sea Turtle.
I'm Zakiya and I'm playing Kenny.
Welcome back to Mayday Roleplay, in our continuation of our homebrew campaign, Ashoka Precious Cargo. We want to give a warm shout out to those who subscribe to us on Patreon. Your contributions allow us to grow and expand, and we are now on Twitch. We have awesome things in store like Aaron at the Sheep Farm, Sergio leads us through Ironsworn Eye of the Storm, and Leg teaches us about some heroes you should know about. We got a couple of one-shots as well as a 3-part debrief of our first campaign, Delta Green Doomed to Repeat, which are now available on VOD and wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to like and subscribe and tell a friend about us. We love to share our stories with you. And if there isn't anything else, why don't we continue our story?
Dear Diary. My day today was pretty fucking great. I arrived at the island town known as Tengu Atoll after receiving a mysterious piece of paper, something that I sometimes like to refer to as a letter, summoning me for a very important mission that only I am capable of carrying out for the city's elderly and frail leaders who can't do anything for them fucking selves. Of course, I didn't really care about the mission, but I'd assume that I'd get easy access to the leaders to shoot them in their faces. Too bad everyone in the place seemed to like them so fucking much. You can't shoot people if other people like them. Honestly, I don't even remember the leaders' names. I don't really pick up on people's faces. I just see a target where most people would see a head. Then I show up and find out that they expect me to work with 5 other people. The audacity! I kill alone! Anyway, their names were Rad. One of them claims to own an anchor, Xauti, Kenny, and Snowball. Yeah, that's right. I only remember their names because one of them was a turtle, a surfing turtle, and I respect that. So anyway, the leaders were like, you have to carry this little lady to a non-existent island full of people called elves. And I was like, sure, easy, I'll get it done before breakfast. Then Kenny was like, the little girl's gotta sign this contract. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, what? Then the city exploded, and we were all like, what? And then Rad was like, surf. And I was like, whoosh. And all the ships were like, boom. And then there were bandits wreaking havoc, and I was like, not today. And then I told everyone, I got these guys. Then I was like, twang, bang, whoosh. And then those guys were like, we're dead. And I was like, license to kill. Then I tried to tackle a ghost, and Xauti was like, not the kid. And then Anchor was like, bam, whack, bad ghost. And then we were like, run. And we're on a boat now.
Fuck you!
Yeah, new precedent has been set, unfortunately.
You guys make it out of the opening that exits out of Tengu Atoll into the dark of the evening. And eventually, as you navigate out back into open sea, the steady clinging fog elopes around you as you guys kind of disappear. You guys in the back can hear the continuing cannon fire of what you assume is the bandits that are still raiding on Tengu Atoll. But eventually, after a while, it just becomes quiet and silent. The sea is calm, unmoving. and you all 6, including Baran, are alone. Baran has finally stopped crying and eventually has kind of tuckered herself out, and she's kind of now just nestled in your arms, Shodi.
I'll kind of
Just asleep with her face just kind of like just still a little wet and just covered in like dirt and debris.
just awkwardly hold her and not I'll move like I'm thinking about putting her down and then realize that that's gonna be bad and she'll probably wake up, so I'll just lean back against the side again and do that a couple times and then be like, alright, I'm just gonna stay here.
Good work.
I didn't do anything. She just got tired of crying, I guess.
More than I could do.
Sure. Since we're all here, and we're out on a boat, and there's water all around us, could I cast something to keep us all safe? Is that
Please do.
all right?
Absolutely not. No, please do that. Please do that.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I didn't want to cast something on you without your permission. That felt weird. And I'm gonna cast water breathing on everyone.
Okay.
So I think it hits everyone. Yeah, 10 million creatures, so all of us, including Baran, and it lasts for 24 hours.
Sick.
Roll me a d20.
Your lungs all fill with air or with water.
The boat explodes.
8.
The water breathing attracts the kraken.
It's an 8. I'm good.
Rad has finished helping Anchor and has made his way to the back of the ship and is looking at Tengu Atoll, and after a few minutes kind of turns around and says, I don't know, guys, I feel really bad leaving all those people behind. They're gonna be most persecuted by those dudes.
Well, they said they wanted the girl. Maybe they're just gonna chase after us.
I don't think either of those options is particularly good.
Either way, we have to accept the fact that we've been given a mission and we have to carry that through. We have to hope that someone else has been given the mission of protecting that island.
If it is their time, it is their time.
If the island's even fucking there.
What do you
Well, you
mean?
said it doesn't even fucking exist. What if we just got sent on what would commonly be referred to as a wild goose chase?
Eli, did one of us receive a map previously?
Yes, somebody did manage to grab a map on their way out.
That's fortunate.
Yes, whoever it was that talked to the dying otter man has
that's
the
right.
charters.
I think I have the map.
I think
Was
it's
it Kenny?
Kenny,
Yeah,
actually.
I have the map.
Yeah, you have the map.
Okay.
You only had to kill a man to get it.
I did not kill him. He died.
You were
from his own
complicit.
choices. No,
Wait, who
he
died?
refused.
The otter fellow.
Oh, I like that dude.
It's because Kenny wouldn't help him.
No, people die when they are killed, okay? He refused to sign my contract, and I couldn't heal him. Speaking of which, I would love for everyone to do that now. And she starts taking a copy of the contract, ripping it, and casting Mending to duplicate the contract and pass it out to people.
That's incredible.
And what's the catch? Do you own our soul after we put our name on this here paper?
I don't care about your souls, I just want you to be decent.
Follow-up question. Do you have to be able to write to sign the contract?
That's a good question. No, you can sign it with claw prints, paw prints, blood, it doesn't matter. You just have to sign it.
Okay. I take a crossbow bolt off of my waist or off of my leg, and I stab it into my thumb, and then I just kind of smear blood across the bottom of the contract and hand it back to Kenny. Is that acceptable?
It is, thank you. And she tucks it into the white box that she carries.
Rad signs it in a way that makes humanoids comfortable. He's seen them do it before. He just kind of does a couple of swirls on the page. But then he says, just in case Kenny's not around, I can do a little healing and you don't have to sign anything for me. I'll hand it back to her.
She's gonna look at you pretty sternly. Now
I know who my
That's all.
favorite healer is.
that's all good and fine, but it's important to remember who's licensed, who's qualified. Now, Band-Aid is good, but who has Revivify at the end of the day?
Oh yeah, I can't do that. That's true.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
I mean, personally, my go-to healer is a bottle of whiskey.
I think Anchor takes out this very dramatic rubber ink stamp that he has among his stuff on his belt, on the kidney belts, and then he stamps it in, and it has the same sort of iconography that's on the tapestry around his waist. It says, "This is a pledge of the ballast that means that you and I are locked together for the rest of our lives."
Ooh.
Oh,
I look forward to our partnership.
okay. Thank
Kenny. And then he slaps his hand on your shoulder. And he looks like he's trying to put his forehead to your forehead.
I lean over the snowball and whisper, "Do you think this guy needs to tone it down a notch?"
He is coming off quite intense.
Kenny's gonna keep leaning back as far as you keep coming with your forehead. She's gonna keep leaning back, and just take the contract and just tap your hand.
This is part of it, I promise.
This is important to you that this happens?
As important as the contract.
Okay. Then she leans forward, but just like a tap and backs up.
Oh.
Thank you. And I go back to steering the ship, as I'm sure it's, veering left and right now that I don't know how ships work.
You have the oar locked, so it's going in one general direction. But
yeah, of course I have the oars locked. Sure.
Fucking idiot.
The mast, it's down. The oars are locked, and the boat moves.
Yeah.
We've been drifting for the past 20 minutes.
Tokyo Drift. Oh, now I know what I want to do. We're Tokyo drifting sometime in this whole, I don't care where, but we're Tokyo drifting with this thing.
While all that's been happening, Xauti has pulled out a piece of charcoal and very carefully and very slowly has been writing their name. And it still looks like chicken scratch, but it looks like they're putting a lot of effort into trying to make it look nice and like an adult person signed it. Here you go, thanks, I guess.
Yes, thank you. She's gonna fold it and put it away.
Snuvall's gonna raise her hand, above the contract to, it looks like her fingers are touching the letters. Okay, so she can read it in her way. She's gonna turn to and could be like, "At any time, if I decline this, will you promise not to save me?"
Can she file a do not resuscitate?
And I'm gonna just keep staring hard.
Oh, well, we can add that to your contract if that's something you prefer. Sure. And she takes it back quickly, jots down what you just said, and gives it back.
I will go ahead and use my little claw to just etch my name in.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to my spooky chart, and I'm adding 1 point to Snuvall's name.
Once Snuvall finishes, Rad is like, "Oh my god, I forgot, there's someone else I need you to heal," and he whistles, and this female sea lion leaps out of the water and lands on the deck of the ship, and just has 2 eyes looking in different directions and her tongue sticking out. She just kind of flops up to you, and Rad takes, he says, "This is my most trusted companion, Paunch."
Hey, Kenny, I found that guy you killed.
No, you can't kill Paunch. He's unkillable. But anyway, I'm going to take some ink, some squid ink that I have in a pouch, and I put it on her paw, and I have her sign too. Gotta keep her safe.
This is so cute. Okay.
I go up to her.
I think actually Kenny's having a hard time not saying this is so cute also. It's incredible. That's fine. Okay.
Say hi, Paunch. She starts going,
Xauti's gonna hold their hand out towards Paunch, they want it to come sniff their hand, and make I don't know if that's what you do for sea lions, but is it friendly?
She's friendly enough, yeah. You want to say hi?
That's never good.
Yeah, but I don't want to wake the baby. Can I? Shh. I can say hi later. It's fine. It's fine.
I think she would just basically flop her head over to the side and look in your direction.
I'm gonna walk up to Paunch and look to Rad and go, does she shake?
She'll probably like try to bite your balls or something.
Wow.
I see. Paunch, it is good to meet you. I am Anchor.
Yeah, she just makes some seal noises.
Good to know.
And then she'd probably just find a sunny place and start sunning on the deck of the ship.
Snuvall's just gonna keep her eyes on the Punch and just be like, you stay over there.
Well, if anything, it should be pretty smooth sailing from this point on, right, guys? Just gotta go south.
I think that...
I mean, now that you've said that, I can almost guarantee that it's not gonna be.
Yes, that's not how these things tend to work.
No, I doubt it.
I think we should stay vigilant.
It's also like the middle of the night, I guess, huh? I've had a couple ships sink in the middle of the night. It's not cool.
A couple of ships?
It sounds
Nice.
very not cool.
If you guys all like, you can take a rest and I will keep watch for a little bit.
Good, yes. We should establish a watch order as soon as possible.
Well, I'm feeling pretty jazzed after that, so I could stay up, I guess.
I wouldn't mind a quick rest. I'm a bit hurt.
I don't do watch, but if there's a problem, all you gotta do is say shoot, and about 0.2 seconds later, there's gonna be a bolt flying. Now, I can't guarantee that bolt is not gonna be aimed at one of you, but odds are it's gonna hit whatever it is that's the problem.
Yeah, you can go rest in the bottom of the ship, dude. Take it easy.
That's fair.
He has a control issue, don't you think?
Quite a bit, yes.
There's actually no bottom to this ship. It's just a platform. But there is a small like hut area that you could probably tuck yourself in.
If you like, there may be a blanket of some sort, maybe some fabric inside of the hut there. I can't remember what I keep in there.
All right, there I go.
So who's doing the staying up all night thing?
I'll sit around if that's all right.
I can
I'll
take
stay
one.
I'll stay up with you, Rod.
I plan on getting some rest, but in some time I'll wake back up and check the oars, but I'll be sleeping at the head anyways.
I'll find a place like towards the back of the ship, just kind of keeping my eye out towards Tengu Atoll.
I'm actually going to go to the very, very front, the bow of the ship, I believe. And if possible, I'm going to sit on like the railing with my feet kind of dangling and like just kind of take very deep meditative breaths and look out the front. Well, look.
This ship's too small for a crow's nest, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay.
So it's just the platform. There's a small hut. I mean, you can sit on top of the hut if you want.
Yes, please.
It's a top flat surface.
Yeah. Kenny will go on top of that.
Shorty's just gonna lay down where they are. They don't want to move because the baby fell asleep on them and they don't know what to do about it. So they're just gonna kind of like lean back until they're flat and they have one giant hand resting over Baron's back to make sure that she doesn't go anywhere.
So Eli, if I was trying to stop for supplies at like the most populated island or the hit spot closest to us, where's like the Westfield Mall?
Yes.
You are on the border isles, so there is another island about a day's away. If you want to keep pushing forward, you could go into the Rokewood, and there is the hub island of Odeska, which is the port city that you could go to. Or there's a couple just smaller residual islands around that main island.
I think Odeska works for us. I think we can make way for Odeska unless you guys have ulterior motive.
No.
Did anybody kill a man in Odeska or something I need to know
Not
about?
that I know of.
Well, Trig's asleep.
We shall find out soon enough.
I guess we will find out when we
That's
get
true.
there.
It will be about 2 days to get to Odeska on your current path.
Yes, I'm fine with that. If everyone else is.
Yeah, I think that works.
Yes.
If anyone goes into the hut during the night, you'll see Trig huddled up in a corner with his hat over his face, and he has one of his crossbows in one arm like it's a teddy bear, and in the other arm he has a porcelain dragon.
Do you?
I think while we're on watch, Rad would not be able to have the attention span to just spend the entire time looking backwards, so he'll eventually make his way back to the front of the ship, where Snuvall is, and just like awkwardly start conversation by saying something like, "You got cool eyes, dude. Reminds me of like sea foam.
Okay. The Snuvall kind of stutters, or like generally is just like, "Whoa, okay." I don't know how to respond.
I guess I just didn't.
Thank you. I guess.
I only thought of it now, but can you see? Are you like blind?
Yes. In a traditional sense, yes, I am blind, but I can. How do I describe it? I can see vibrations. So every time something makes a noise or a sound, it bounces off objects. So I'm blind in your sense, but not completely blind.
Whoa. You know, I think I kind of get what you're saying. It's like, when I'm like really like in a turn, you know what I mean? I'm like going into a wave. It's like all the sound goes away and I'm just like feeling the vibration of the oceans. I get what you're going
Pure
at.
instinct. I can see you're definitely, you're not like the others, just saying, and that intrigues me about you.
Well, I'm not a human if that's what you mean.
Oh, I got that. Definitely got that. But, you have tremendous power. I felt that earlier when you were shifting all the water. That was quite impressive.
Oh, you saw it? I thought I was alone. Yeah, you know, it's just something I can do once in a while.
It was definitely impressive. I haven't seen something like that.
You think that's impressive? You should see my surfing.
I have to admit, I've never been surfing before.
Dude, you've never curled a wave?
No.
Dude, next chance we get, you and we gotta go and hit the beach, man. Hit Dawn Patrol.
I will admit that that I've never done that before, and I don't know. Maybe, possibly.
Well,
okay.
We can start simple. The first task that any surfer has to do is they gotta go out and they gotta make their board. We'll find a good piece of wood and we'll cut you one just like I have.
I'm going to, like, 'cause even though I can't, like, see the way he wants to, I could still kind of, like, see the board. I'd be like, what is that made out of then?
Oh, just, like, the best wood, and I'm knocking on it. I'm knocking on it to, like, make noise so you can kind of, like, feel the vibrations of it.
Am I allowed to, touch the board?
You can doth hold the board, yeah.
And I'm gonna pick up this board and feel the balance, see the girth of it, feel like the potential of it. Chill.
You're starting the fan fiction for them.
A turtle and a dragon. It could happen. I'd be like, that is, I've never seen a surfboard this close before, so.
Perfectly balanced, am I right?
I'm gonna twirl it up in the air and then catch it, and I'm gonna pass it back to them. That is quite impressive.
That's impressive, dude. I'll take it from her.
Just nod.
All right, well, I guess I should get back to, my watch.
I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna just scan him as he walks away and be like, I'm not sure about him, but kind of, maybe.
Rad, you're preoccupied with the waves in the ocean that you don't see much. Same for you, Snuvall. You scan out. It's very foggy and misty. You don't sense anything. It seems that everything is calm and quiet. And the night continues on. Are we switching watch, or are you and Snuvall?
No, eventually I'll need to rest.
I'll take one. I'll take watch. Second watch.
I will eventually also need to rest, but I would like someone to take my spot. So I'm gonna keep going until I get relieved.
I can take your spot. You're gonna have to wake me up, but I can take your spot.
Yeah, Kenny and I can.
Shodi, as you're getting up, you see Rad go to Paunch and lean against Paunch like a pillow, and it seems like Rad is talking to Paunch as he's falling to sleep.
Oh, that's Shodi's gonna sit up real careful with Baron, and then that adult thing where you have to hold a kid with one arm and wriggle your arm out of your backpack. And then switch the arm you're holding the kid with and wriggle your arm out of the other backpack. And they're gonna pull it around, and they're gonna take out their one of their old cloaks, and kind of cut it into strips, and then loosen all the straps, like the backpack straps on their backpack, and make like a space that Baran might fit in, and tie like a little baby Bjorn seat.
Like a swaddle type thing?
Yeah, like some side panels and like a seat so that they don't have to have like full on both, like one hand to hold the kid and one hand to hold a weapon. They have like two hands free and the kid can sit on their back or their front, whatever. But just in case we have to like run again. Shoddy's gonna make a fucking baby Bjorn.
Before that, Snuvall will see this and literally like kind of help like tie the knots.
Thank you.
Veranda's nicely nestled. She surprisingly hasn't woken up from all the motion and commotion, but she's cradled in, and now you have your hands free.
Is she okay, do you think? Like, she's just slept? Is she hurt? Is she alive still? Oh my god, is she alive still?
I'm gonna like move my hand in front of the child's face, put like my finger under the nose, feel the breathing, move my hand.
You feel breath underneath her, and you also see like her hair is kind of tussling and moving, like there's wind and stuff like that, but she's nestled and she's kind of like shifts a little bit.
I'm gonna also reach into my side satchel, and I'm gonna purposely give 4 days rations over. And you're like, this is for you and the child, just in case.
Oh, thanks. I'll put it in my backpack for her to eat later at some point. I shouldn't wake her up to eat, right? I feel like she'd sleep. I should just leave her asleep.
I think that's like the rule with children. Like, don't wake them unless there's like an emergency.
Okay, I'll do that. We're in charge of a whole little creature, like her life, and I don't even know you people.
For now, this is not permanent.
Oh yes.
No.
No.
That's okay. Bye. And then she's just gonna walk away from the child.
Bye.
No.
Great. And Shoddy's gonna pull whatever was left of their cloak from like the strips that they pulled, and then like try and take a piece of like, I don't know, string or twine or something out of their backpack and squinch up like a ball part of it at the top, and then tie the twine around it so it looks like it has a head, and like give it a little bow so that Baran kind of has a teddy bear again. It's not an actual teddy bear.
Roll me a performance check.
Oh god. Okay, well my charisma's not bad. My charisma's actually good. That never happens.
Got this. I want a teddy bear. Got 20.
No, it's a natural one.
Terrifying.
Roll me a D100.
Oh god. Here I was thinking, how is Jenny gonna wake up?
Gonna kill the kid. We cave the kid
60.
to a literal time bomb.
60. You're like focused on it. You're trying to like make this doll, and it's just not quite like.
I've got big hands.
You got big hands, and it's like not coming out in the way you want, and it's kind of stressing you out, and you kind of start growing a little more frustrated over the fact that like the more you twist and twine it, the less it looks like a doll, and eventually it just like all of a sudden you just feel this pent up like surge of energy fill into you, and then you feel very nauseated as all of a sudden you just vomited a giant slug onto the deck.
Oh no! Can I like turn my head so I don't get it on Baran?
Yeah, you turn on the side, but you just hear this like splat onto the thing as this giant slug. It's like 2 feet.
Oh.
2
now on
feet.
Question. How close is that to my feet? Real quick.
Are you still?
You
still there?
I was kind of walking.
Yeah. As you're walking away, you feel like the splash of like a little bit of
God.
stuff on the back of your heels.
I'm gonna growl really intense, and fire's gonna come out of my nose. Really, I'm like.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's just a slug. I vomit sometimes. I'm not always.
I'm gonna put my finger up, like that finger, not the middle finger, the finger up that says 1. That's like the one you never want from your mother. Like, I'm going to go away, and just.
Okay.
I have a thing about my feet.
I'm sorry.
Just.
They're lovely. You've got lovely feet. I don't know if that's weird. I don't mean it in a creepy sexual way I've heard people talk about, but they're just nice feet. They're useful. You've done a good job with them.
Stop talking.
Okay.
I'm gonna like get very just trying to take just sludge away to the other side of the boat. Furious.
The commotion's loud enough for anybody else to kind of pick up on.
Yes. Is that a thing that you do normally? A regular thing?
It's not always vomiting slugs, but it happens sometimes, yeah.
Wild.
Can you not control your magic?
Most of it.
So that's a no.
Well, most of it. It's not all the time. I don't know when it's going to happen. It just happens sometimes. It's not my fault. Or maybe it is my fault. I don't know.
Give a warning next time.
I don't know if I can, but I'll try. All right, well, I'm gonna pick the slug off and throw it off the side of the boat.
Yeah, you do. It's easy enough. Are you up now for watch?
I can't go back to sleep now.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you want to... I see that you strapped the toddler to yourself, but they're pretty durable. You could just flop them down on the ground.
Well, I can just put her down and she won't wake up.
You could just untie it and let her fall.
Oh no. That seems
It's what,
dangerous.
3 feet? She's fine.
Well,
Probably.
I'm pretty tall. I feel like if she fell...
That's true.
from
I don't know
my
what I'm talking
chest-
about.
Okay. Shodi's gonna be real gentle and they're gonna like really carefully put Baran on the deck and like hover just because they don't really know what to do about it.
You can just let her be there. She's gonna be okay. I mean, unless she's a sleepwalker, then we are all...
Do they do that?
Well, sometimes. But
What the fuck?
we'll find out, right? It's late enough for us to find out.
Wait, but it just sleeps and then wanders?
Some of them do. It's fine.
How do you know all this? Do you have children?
No,
You know a lot about them.
no. But I was one myself.
Well, I was too, but I don't know this. Sleepwalking.
It's a small thing. It might not happen. It's just sometimes. It's not important. Okay. I actually wanted to talk to you about something that happened earlier today. I broke one of my rules when I helped when the man, and he did the spooky thing with his eyes, and it was like, what? And we had to stop it because of the baby.
Right.
We're just gonna consider that. So if anything inquires as to when that happened, just say after you sign the contract. Does that make sense?
Sure. You didn't heal me though. You just stopped me being afraid.
Yes. It's an umbrella thing. It's just what is defined as healing and being helpful in general could be. You could say what I did was a form of healing, like a psychological therapy, believe it, you can achieve it sort of way.
Oh.
Yes.
Is all your magic controlled like that?
No, I killed those people super easy, no contracts.
Just helpful magic then?
Yes.
Why?
Convenience. It's easier when you have a backup plan, a plan B, just in case. Not everyone likes being healed.
Contracts don't seem very convenient though. That seems like a lot of effort to do something that's good.
I mean, maybe it's an extra step, but it's better than the alternative.
What's the alternative?
Ooh, wow. You have a lot of questions.
Well, I've not learned much. I'm trying to better myself or something. I don't know. I just want to know things. I like talking to people.
We'll just say chaos. I think that's something we're both familiar with.
I do know chaos. That's true. Well, I will try to remember that. What would be asking?
Did you read the contract?
Well, sort of. I read bits of it. I can't read
Okay,
terribly well. It takes me a while.
then that's fine. It's just the golden lady, the person I work with, I would say with, it's about equal when you think about it. We just have an agreement, and to violate that would be unfortunate.
Well, I'm sorry if I made anything difficult for you.
No, it was my decision.
All right.
It was keeping the child safe and everyone else. But I think that's enough feelings talk, so we can stare at the toddler and stare at the ocean.
Sure.
Great.
Here, and I'm gonna pull out my little my taffy that I have, and I'm gonna pull it in half and offer half to Kenny.
Kenny takes it.
Yeah.
This is for eating.
Yeah. It's
Okay,
it's good.
great. She's gonna eat it.
Chomp it. I'll chomp the other half.
You both share your taffy and continue to look at the ocean and the sea as you guys carry on. Eventually, the night stretches into day as the early dawn begins to break in the east. It's about 6-ish, 7 o'clock. It seems that the fog has kind of cleared up, and now you're just looking at pretty much open sea. The wind is also picking up around as well, and the sea is starting to kind of bob and weave as your ship kind of raises and lowers with the tides. It's a pretty nice day. Looks like it's going to be a clear for the most part.
Yeah, as soon as the sun comes up, Rad's going to get up and then he's going to go swimming with Paunch for like an hour and then come back.
Okay. Anybody else?
Don't forget you can breathe underwater so you can swim with her.
I can breathe regardless, but thanks.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's your turn. That makes sense.
That's how it works when you are a turtle.
I think as soon as the sun is up, I'm back at the oars. They're unlocked, and I'm the one sort of sailing us through, and going through the tapestries seated under me as I'm just kind of getting us towards Rokewood.
Yeah, you turn the oars and you start heading east from your direction on the way towards the Rokewoods.
Ah, I'm awake!
Fucking hell.
Is that how you wake up every morning?
Most every. Sometimes there's a bolt in the bow and sometimes there's not.
Just announce you're awake. Who'd you tell? Who are you announcing it to?
Usually when I wake up, there's bad guys.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. They get what's coming to them.
And you're one to judge others?
I'm the only one to judge others.
What gives you the right? Why are you special?
Because I've seen bad people before. I show up and I ask people if the people in charge are bad, and if they say yes, I kill them.
Oh. Interesting.
And then naturally, that makes more bad guys want to come after me. Which is why I usually wake up like that.
And now we've come full circle, I see.
Yeah.
That Snuvall's not really liking this guy, and just kind of just like nods along and just walks to the other side.
Baran is awake as well. She's kind of rubbing her eyes and stuff like that. She's kind of like looking at all of you a little confusingly. But eventually you can hear like her stomach just kind of like starting to growl. And she's just sitting there trying to wake up.
I'll pull out some of the rations that Kenny, or not Kenny, Snuvall gave me, and I'll like break one of them in half because I think it's too big for her. I know she's 4. Shodi doesn't understand that.
To you, she's this big.
She's infant size to me.
It might be a little bland, FYI.
Oh no.
I'll eat part of it and show her and be like, yummy. And then I'll hold it up to her.
Yeah. She takes it and she kind of eats it, but she kind of makes a sour looking face at it, and she kind of doesn't like it, and she kind of just throws it on the ground.
I know, it's not very good, I'm sorry.
Rad's gonna come over and pick it up off the ground and start eating it and say, hey, Shodi, if you ever had some trouble talking to the kid, I'm pretty good with kids and I could probably, talk to her in her language if you ever needed it.
All right. Well, we're all in charge of her. I'm not the only one. I just picked her up the first time. I think I'm not trying to.
Don't kids like imprint on people?
No, those are traditionally animals.
And there's a difference?
I don't know, actually. Does she know our names? I don't think she knows our names. Let's introduce ourselves to her.
I can do that.
All right, Rad, you go first.
All right, so Rad's gonna take 2 kind of larger seashells that he has, kind of takes them off of his necklaces, and he hands one to Baran. He's going to cast Comprehend Languages, and he says to Baran, hey, little dude, we're going to take you somewhere safe, and we just wanted to introduce ourselves. My name's Rad, and that one's, I'll just kind of go through the names of everybody.
Yeah, she's got the shell in her hand, and she's kind of looking at it. And then she finally just says, hi.
Yeah. If you speak into it, I can hear.
And she's like kind of like amazed by it. And she's like, you can hear me? And you're like,
yeah, I understand you.
She kind of looks around and she's like, where's Soul? She's asking for the matron.
She's asking where's Soul. I'll take my hand away from the seashell. Is that the...
She's not dead. She just got her leg broken, but we can't tell that to a kid, can we?
Tell her she's gone for now.
She had to stay behind.
Gone? Okay,
Just tell her the truth that she got hurt and we're just taking her to her new place.
She just had to stay up behind for now.
But is that the truth?
Sure.
We don't know.
That wasn't my understanding.
I don't think she died. She just had a broken leg.
Well, my understanding is that even if she didn't die, she was never going to see the kid again.
It's as close as the truth as we can get without...
I mean, dudes, by this time she knows something's wrong.
Be
We've been,
straight
like,
with her.
arguing about what to tell her.
We tell her that she is gone and that we are taking her to a new place.
So, little dude, and I'll go back to the seashell and say, Soul's gone to the big beach in the sky. She's gonna be surfing and having a good time, and maybe you'll see her one day.
She looks like really confused. She doesn't quite understand what you're saying.
It's probably for the best.
But she eventually's like, okay. Okay.
But we're gonna keep you safe, and we're taking you to Algernon, I think it was called.
She says the word again, Algernon. And she's like, the secret island.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, just you're gonna be okay. So if you need anything, you just tell one of us, all right?
She nods and like kind of like first time like kind of smiles a little bit, and she's like, okay. And she's just kind of now just continuing to like play with the shell and just like look at it. She seems okay with it and can like she's not fussing about it. I mean, she's 4.
I think I screwed up, you guys, but she seems okay.
You did well,
Seems
Brad.
happy.
It seemed comforting.
I mean, waves are always comforting to me, so I just thought,
It's okay.
The big beach in the sky, it was good imagery.
yeah.
Parenting is hard.
It was a lovely image. You shouldn't be upset by that.
It would make a good painting.
Do you know how to paint?
I know how to finger paint.
That's good. That's good. Women need that.
I'm gonna go to Anchor and be like, just like, do you know where we're going? Just like, get away.
Yes, I thought it would be wise if we stopped in the Rokewoods to find some supply points. I figure it's a long journey ahead of us. I thought we'd like to eat for the entirety of it. Then we'll get back on the channel and make our way for the Lost Island.
The Rokewood? That's where you want to go?
Unless you have some other idea, I figured it was the closest place to resupply.
Yeah, I guess it's fine. Yeah, we can go to the Rokewood. As long as we get on our way, you know what I mean? I really just want to help this girl and kind of get her on her way, you know what I mean?
Of course. We could attempt the journey as we see fit now. We could get back on the channel if you think it's wise, but I just want to make sure we have enough food for the journey.
Well, I mean, if it's just food, me and Punch, we could catch us fish all day, dude.
I need to stop. I'm out of, I'm nearly out of, what I like to call my secret sauce.
Were that the explosives?
right.
The explosives you used?
Here, do you want to try one?
I see. No.
It's real fun.
So it takes about 2 days to get to Odeska, if that is the island in the Rokewood you intend to travel to. Anchor, roll me a survival check if you're running the helm.
I have a dirty 20.
Easy enough. It's easy travel for most of the day. It's about noonish. Can 2 people roll me perception checks?
I have 26.
23.
6.
I want to have Snuvall kind of like go ahead and wash her shoes that are still crusted over from the night before, like leaning over the water as she's trying to clean off her shoes and dirt from that.
Sure. The wind's picked up since the morning as you push into afternoon. Your kaisers are really kind of bobbing up and down, and there are waves kind of being made out in open sea. Xauti and Trig kind of look on in the like residual horizons surrounding the circumference of the ship, and you do notice that there are dark clouds rimming around on the horizon as like there's a possible storm on the back end.
With such high perception checks, they probably also like scanned the boat once or twice and seen Rad visibly getting less and less friendly and more nervous.
Trig takes his hat off, turns around to the rest of the group and says, "Storms are coming."
It's waiting for it.
The storm's far enough out of the way where it could turn, but it's still on the residual horizon. But you are getting some back end of it as the wind has picked up and the waves are moving. Xauti, as you're kind of still looking out on the sea and stuff like that, you notice something kind of moving through between the waves, like a couple forms kind of shifting through.
Can I look? Can I go to the side of the boat that's the closest to wherever it is and kind of?
Yeah, you walk closer to the edge, kind of lean over as you kind of see like a pod of maybe like 4 or 5 forms just kind of jut between underneath your ship, and it seems they're kind of traveling alongside.
Can I motion for profanity? Dolphins, there's dolphins.
Eventually, you guys kind of like dip down into like a crest of a wave, a trough of a wave, and you're going up again. And as you kind of go over that lip, those forms kind of jump out of the water, and what you see is not dolphins, but they're humanoid looking. They have fish tails, but they seem to just jump out through the waves and back into the water.
Do I know what that is?
You can roll a nature check.
Can I also roll a nature check?
Sure.
I have a 17.
I have an 11.
Xauti, you don't quite know what it is. You have, in your time of traveling across the sea, have seen things that kind of lurk about in the water, things with tails, even humanoid-looking creatures. You know that they exist. Snuvall, you know a little bit more, as like around your island, these type of creatures tend to kind of habitate in some of the coves and areas. You know them to be merfolk. They're just simple humanoid sea people that traverse through the various channels. Some of them are nomadic, some of them actually like nest and hub out in specific residual islands. He seems to just be passing through, using your boat as maybe a little bit of shelter or just to see what's going on. Another one kind of jumps out of the water, she kind of like looks and sees as she kind of dives back down. They're aware of your guys' presence, but they're just tagging along on the boat as you guys continue on your way.
I'm just gonna wave.
One of them like gives you a wave as well as they dive back down in the water, but they're just playing through the waves and this open sea and stuff like that. Rad, you do notice that the waves have kind of picked up and are kind of like cresting and troughing alongside the ship and a little bit further out the way.
Are we there yet?
Still have some time. About a day's ride.
Okay, that's fine.
Rod, did you see the people? The people that were swimming?
Oh, the merfolk?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty good boogie boarders.
Did you see? You saw them though.
Yeah, they're all over the place. I've seen them before. They're cool.
Oh, I was surprised you didn't get in with them.
No, I think I'd rather just us get to where we're going so we can go. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I'm just really worried about Braun. You know.
Sure. Can I roll? That seems sketchy as fuck.
Yeah.
You can roll an insight check if you want to.
Oh,
Sergio, you can roll.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
A 1.
What'd you roll?
I'm getting rid of this die.
Oh my gosh!
What you got?
He's gonna
Is
turn
it a
me into
1?
something.
It's in timeout. It's in my mug and it's in timeout.
Roll me a
Oh my god.
Here we are.
Do not blow up this
I'm doing
ship.
my best. 79.
roll me a d6.
5.
You're like staring at Red, like something about what he said or the way he said it or the tonality of it kind of like sparks something worrisome in you as you kind of like just burst a little bit of a surge, but nothing looks to have happened.
Whoa, you okay, Xauti?
Yes.
It's like sparks like flew out of your ears.
Yeah, sorry.
That is kind of cool.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I didn't hurt you or anything, right?
I don't think so. Is the little dude all right?
I'm gonna like pick her up and like turn her and check all over.
Braun kind of like laughs at this sudden like being lifted up in the air, and she kind of like outstretches her hands and she's like kind of enjoying
I think she's
it.
good.
Alright. I'll do it again because she laughed and it was cute.
I don't know if this is okay to ask, but do all Goliaths shoot sparks out of their ears?
No, actually, not very.
That's too bad. That's too bad.
I'm gonna go to Kenny and be like, can you give something? They look a little unstable.
I don't have anything for that. I couldn't even begin to try to diagnose what that is.
Perhaps we could try the nitroglycerin.
I mean, the sparks lead me to believe that that would work very well. See, because there's sparks in there and there's sparks in here. You put the sparks together and then
Wait,
blammo.
wouldn't that just make the sparks bigger, though?
There's no way to know for sure.
I am now motivated to try to diagnose what that is. Can I just give a once over to Xauti, please?
Yeah, roll me a medicine check.
Something. I got that. 13.
You go through the general checks and stuff like that. You knock something on their knees and they kick it. They kick out. They seem to be fine physically.
But Xauti, you think the little dude will be safe with you if you keep sparking off like that?
I don't know. Maybe someone else should take her. Here, and I'll pass her off to Rad and like sequester myself in a corner.
Yeah, Rad is
real quick.
just as, if not more, uncomfortable holding the child.
Oh, good.
Well,
Yes.
I don't think she can. Yeah, I don't think she
hold
can
it in-
breathe underwater, so she can't hang out with me for too long.
I cast breathing underwater. Fine. Everyone
Remind
has
us,
water.
she can
I'm
walk.
gonna be like, I think Trig will make a good dad, and I hand it off to
All right, here we go.
No.
Do you like explosions, little lady?
Oh dear God. Nope. Snuvall's gonna just
Would you like
snatch
to learn how
that
to
child
fire a
up.
crossbow?
Absolutely not. Nope.
She's laughing, but she has no
Nope.
idea what you're saying to her.
Snuvall takes that child away. Not even a glance.
That's
Just
fair.
gives it to Kenny. Gives it right to Kenny. Yep.
Kenny takes the child and puts her over her back like a sack of clothes.
That's not much
And
better.
like bounces her around, and hopefully she's having fun, but just continues about her business with this child over her shoulders.
I hate to suggest this, but maybe we let her walk around the ship as she sees fit.
She can walk. She can walk.
She shrugs the child off. Hopefully she lands on her feet.
Oh no.
Are Genasi like cats?
You literally just shoulder check Varang. But as she kind of tumbles to the ground, she eventually just stops and she starts to kind of levitate off the ground. And she kind of like she's like moving like her legs around like she doesn't know what she's doing, but she's stopped. Many of you who know of Genasi, especially those who are from Oda now, know that Genasis possess different types of abilities depending on the element they have. Many air Genasis are known to be able to levitate or to fly in some way. But eventually, as she's just kind of flailing a little bit, she kind of finally like drops down on the floor, but not as far as Kenny's shoulders.
It actually,
I guess that solves what element she is.
Do all kids do that?
no.
No.
Only the special.
Rattle kind of tussle her hair and say, "Little dude's like a little mini sorcerer, kind of like me."
She kind of laughs and she looks up at you as she says something in Eris, but you don't understand her.
Yeah, comprehend languages isn't enough anymore.
Knowing this group, that's probably going to save her life.
She eventually like, gets up and she starts walking around the ship a little bit as you guys are kind of convened and together.
Anchor, are we there yet?
I believe if we were there, you would see a large island.
Damn.
Why are you in such a hurry?
I just want to get her on her way, you know? I've gotten real emotional about this girl.
And wouldn't you want to spend more time with her?
Well, believe me, we're gonna have a lot of time traveling. It's probably gonna take a while to get to this Algernon.
So
Seems
what
intense.
difference does a quick stop over in Rokewood make?
I mean, you saw the storm. I mean, you know, it'll be bad to sail in that storm.
But think about how sick the waves are gonna be, Rad.
Believe me, I know all about how sick they're gonna be, and it's killing me that I'm not surfing them, but I really think it's best if we just leave the Rokewood as soon as possible.
He does bring up a good point. The storm does look bad.
There's something here you're afraid of?
I don't know. If we were to stay in Rokewood for the extra day, we may even skip the storm altogether.
How far away are we from Oak?
You're about a day. Day and a half. It's noon right now.
I'm not going to argue with the captain. If you want to wait around the day, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Oh, let's not use that word. Captain, don't throw that around.
Well, it's your
No,
boat.
I think the captain's right. We should definitely stay there for an extra day, if we can.
Again,
I agree with the captain.
Safe.
What?
Thank you. Does anyone not agree with the captain?
I agree.
Nope.
This
I agree
word.
with the captain.
We don't have to use this word.
Agree?
Great.
The word?
Captain, please
It's
stop.
your
But
boat.
Anchor, aren't you like part of like a secret society of captains?
No. The Order of Ballast has surprisingly very little to do with sailing. It's a part of the job, but not our prime directive.
What is it?
Right, his prime directive is anchors.
No.
So you're the only captain.
I am Anchor. I am not a captain. We are not using that word. If anyone else would like to be captain, Rad, you expressed power with the mast. You could be captain.
Dude, I'll be captain. Captain Rad. Already got the eye patch and
There
everything
you are.
for it.
Captain Rad. I pronounce you in charge of...
All right,
Sick.
so now we got 2 captains.
No.
I'm gonna need a vice captain if you don't mind.
2 captains are better than 1.
I give up. Just refer to Rad as the only source of captain on this ship. I have no interest.
Okay,
in the title.
captain. Okay, co-captain. But doesn't co-captain mean like equal?
Yes.
So why would we not just call them both captain?
Please, I beg of you, just call me Anchor.
Yeah.
Right. We'll be there in a day.
At some point, when I feel like the rest of the group isn't looking, I'm going to approach the kid with one of my crossbows, and I'm gonna point it out to the ocean, and I'm just gonna kind of be like, "You wanna?" And I'm just gonna point out to sea and kind of like hold it down for her and see if she wants to fire it into the ocean.
Oh, that is not a good idea.
I mean, she looks up at you and she sees the shininess of the crossbow, and she's kind of interested as you kind of like show her it, and do you let loose a
Do you
bolt?
want to know how?
I mean, she seems like just
I
curious.
try to hand it to her.
Do I see this?
She takes it. She takes it. Roll me a perception.
Does anyone see this shit?
Can I try to
I'm
see?
doing. Wait, am I doing perception, or are they doing perception to notice me trying?
Okay, everyone just. It's like I feel like no. This is like.
Yeah, that's a natural fucking 20. I definitely see this shit.
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you see this.
I
It's
got a
like,
dirty 20.
You both just like almost at the same time, just kind of just look in that general direction, like a feeling of something was wrong. You look over and you see that Trig has put a crossbow in
You
Baron's
should
hand.
pull that. You see that little like spiky thing down there? Yeah, just go ahead and put your pink finger on that and curl. And I show her how with the other one.
Yeah, you like take her hand and like put her finger around the trigger, and you're kind of like helping her point it out at the ocean.
I'll let her pull the trigger on her own.
Are either one of you? Baron eventually just lets loose the thing, and she kind of pushes it, and you hear the bolt loose out into the ocean, and eventually the little splash of it hitting the water.
Hold. If me and Snuvall are close to each other, I'm just gonna put an arm on her shoulder and just say, we'll wait. Wait this out. Just see what happens.
All right, now we're gonna try something a little more exciting. And a big long red stick with a little green thing trailing off it comes off, and I put
We're
that
not
into
gonna
the
wait
bow.
anymore. We're not waiting anymore. This is it. This is the end.
Instantly, I'm gonna go ahead and do the most. Okay, I'm gonna flick my shoe and hit him in the head with it.
The circle complete.
Roll an
attack for it.
It's not gonna be super hard.
Let's just be a
Oh,
D4.
D4, that's even better. Okay.
Gentle about it.
It's a 1.
Yeah, so Trig, as you pull out the stick and you're about to put it into Baron's hands, and Baron's kind of like reaching out and like giving that hand sign like I want to grab it, the shoe just comes and just smacks you right up across the face. As you stop, as the shoe kind of just like flops down on the ground.
And I say, thank you, and I continue putting the dynamite into the crossbow.
I'm going to step in very quickly and be like, if the shoe did not get it across, do not do this. And just take the dynamite away.
All right, we're firing another arrow, and I put an arrow into the crossbow, and I'll keep trying to teach her how to fire the crossbow, as long as she's having fun doing it.
She's kind of having fun for a while as you kind of just let her loose off, like maybe like 2 or 3. Every single time she like lets loose and she hears the sound of the bolt go, her hair kind of just like puffs up and furls out and stuff like that. She's kind of like excited and like unsure of like what's going on, but she eventually just like starts laughing as it's like, oh, it's okay, as her hair like kind of settles down.
While most everyone seems distracted with this thing, Rad is gonna approach Paunch, and he's gonna, as quietly as he can, whisper to Paunch, "Auntie, could you do me like a really big favor? And like, could you just like go distract him for like a day? Like tell him there's something really cool like to the west or something, and then when I leave, I'll call you back. Could you do that for me?"
Paunch kind of like cranes its neck kind of like closer to you and whispers, "That's a lot to ask, Rad."
But I really like these people, and like, we don't have any kind of real precious cargo. I'm just worried he's gonna want me to like do something that I don't want to do right now.
But honestly, once you haven't delivered in months, and he's starting to take notice, especially with the eye patch, you know.
I have a feeling that this like adventure I'm on is gonna totally nab me like totally awesome magical things that I'll totally bring back. I just don't want these people to know right now. Please, Auntie. I was always your favorite.
I hate when you use that line. I'll try. As Paunch just kind of flops off and then jumps into the water. As she goes down, you kind of see that this like greenish ethereal glow as it kind of darts off into the depths and where you can't see her anymore.
He just like breathes kind of a sigh of relief, knowing that there's a chance you might be able to keep things quiet. Are we throwing dynamite again?
No.
Well, I tried, but apparently I'm the only fun uncle around here.
How many sticks of dynamite did I take from him? Just so I'm
Just
aware.
one. I got 2 more in the jacket.
Just one.
You do realize you're wasting your ammo.
Well, that's what it's for. It's for exploding. Who am I to deny it of its existential right?
Nope. I'm done with him. Just walk away. Nope. You're a little too much for me. You're a little too much for me right now. I'm gonna go over to Rad.
You know, people tell me that a lot.
I'm going to Rad. Snuvall's gonna go to Rad. Where did Punch go?
I think she got hungry and she just kind of went to go eat. You know, she's kind of a loner sometimes. Have you been thinking about that board? What kind of wood you gonna make it out of? I suggest something light.
I was just assuming wood is wood.
Oh no, dude, there's all just like every wave is different, every wood is different, dude.
I mean, you're not wrong. I won't deny that. Sure. How about we'll go, when we stop over, we'll look for some wood. How's that? And you can tell me which one to make my board with.
Rad suddenly like kind of gets just like a little solemn, and he's like, "You seem like a real like righteous dude, you know? Like, what if you were in a situation where like someone wanted you to do stuff that you didn't really want to do, but you do it because it helps your like family, you know what I mean? Would you keep doing it?"
I mean, I'm a little different for me because I've never really had a family. I've had an order, but I've never really like developed a family.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Snuvall, I think you should get a family like as soon as possible. They're sick. They go surfing with you. They party with you.
I don't think you can just like get a family. That's from what I've observed traveling around. You have to be born into one, as far as I know.
I don't know about that. I mean, I know lots of people that I like enough to call them family. You can be part of my family if you want. You just gotta meet them.
I mean, that is interesting. I didn't know you can find a family, or is that how it is?
I think you're gonna find some family real soon, dude.
Well, that's very gracious of you. I won't deny. Can I think about that? It seems that can't be answered just on a whim. I feel like I have to think about that for a minute.
Sure, yeah.
And regarding your problem, I feel like, just remember, all your choices are up to you. As long as how you see fit. As long as you can make peace with it, you just gotta do what you gotta do.
It's my choice.
Well, at the end of the day, we're all judged by our actions. That's the thing. It doesn't matter. Like, once you cross over, whatever you meet the final judge, you just have to stand by it.
I suppose, but what if what I'm doing is both good and bad at the same time? It's just a hypothetical, you know. We don't have to talk about it anymore. I'm gonna go now.
I'm gonna watch him as he leaves, and I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna follow. I'm just gonna be like, kind of contemplating all of what he said to me.
Anchor, roll me a survival check if you're still in the helm.
Yep. Never leave. It's a 18.
Even though the waves have gotten choppier and choppier a little bit, you're still holding steady to the course and you're continuing along the way. The day continues on and it's starting to get into like 5, 6 o'clock as the sun is starting to work towards its way to setting. Xauti, while you're looking around on the ship, you end up finding a fishing pole that's kind of tucked away in one of the compartments under the hut.
I'll take it and go as far away from everyone as I can, and try and fish.
Okay, roll me a survival check.
Boy.
Natural one.
Please let there be that one.
Xauti will just break. 5.
All right.
5. You take it and you kind of throw it out into the water as you kind of hear the whizzing and eventually the small plop. Nothing seems to happen as you're just sitting there holding it. Time goes on about an hour or so and still nothing. You can try one more time if you want to.
I'll try and keep my calm and like take a deep breath and try again.
Yep, roll me another.
13, not much better.
As you're just continuing to wait and stuff like that, you kind of brought it back in a little bit, and as you continue pushing away, you kind of let it release and it kind of drifts out as eventually you get a bite as the bobber goes underneath the water and your reel just starts to reel out and you hear the whizzing of it. Roll me a D100.
Oh
my god.
It's a crack.
It's an 8. I got excited about it because I was like, in Delta Green, that's a success. I'll know what it is. I succeeded. And I was like, nope, wait, wrong game, come back.
We're gonna get a ghost ship in a minute, I got a feeling.
Oh. Roll me a strength check.
All my dice have betrayed me today. I don't know which one to use. A strength check?
Just close your eyes and grab one.
Yeah.
I did.
Or
athletics check?
I mean, it's the same.
9.
As you kind of take a step back for a second, you just pull really hard on it. And out from the water onto the deck is this squid. This little hefty squid. Its tentacles are kind of moving. It shoots a tentacle at you to attempt to slap you. But it's not, it's you're too tall of a being as it just kind of like flaps out.
He's angry at you, Xauti.
But it's just there, wiggling around. You do know that we could
eat this if you want.
That's a good catch. You caught it without bait. We could also use it to catch something bigger if you like.
I'll defer to you, Captain. Whatever you think.
Don't call me that, but
Well, I was talking to you and Rad, the captains. Should I have said captains? I feel like that's more appropriate.
Yes.
No, it's just a one word and it's directed at Rad.
As
Captain's
my first
dads.
directive, I order you to chop that squid up and save a piece for me, and we'll catch something bigger.
Okay. I'll yeah, sure.
So you're gonna attempt to kill it?
Yeah.
All right.
This is why I don't play like as many video games, because one game told me to kill a bear and I started crying and stopped playing.
Oh.
So
Make sure you pull the beak first, because almost nothing will eat that beak. It's indigestible. So you'll have to wrench it with your fingers, then pull as hard as you can. They don't really cut easy because the tendon is so strong there. So pull as hard as you can.
The squid is
I
still
can
wiggling.
just blow fire on it.
I'm just gonna stab through it. Is that the noise it makes?
They do. They like kind of scream. Yeah.
It's like that level on Super Mario.
You stab into it, and eventually, like the tentacles just kind of like furrow out, and it eventually just falls dead.
It's okay,
Sorry.
big dude. It's the way of the ocean.
I can cook it if you like, really quick.
I'll give you some pieces to cook, and I'll give some pieces to fish with.
Okay.
And I'll go back and take like 2 or 3 pieces and go fish with them.
Any big piece, I'm just gonna kind of like breathe
Right.
my little flame on it to cook it.
Okay.
Shorty, you should try casting out farther. If it's close enough to the boat, the waves that we created keeps all the fish away.
Okay, I'll try.
You gonna try again? Roll the survival check.
9. Why?
9. It takes a minute, but eventually, again, it bobs under and goes down into the depths. Roll me a d100.
63.
It takes a minute. Roll me a strength check.
At this point, now that it seems obvious that this is like becoming priority of like getting food for people, Rad will probably be hanging around helping where he can.
16.
Again, with your Goliath strength, you just yank on the back of the reel, and this giant mahi sized fish, a very large fish, kind of jumps up on the deck at your feet, Rad.
Go on, Captain.
Sick, that's a good one. Do I know if it'll feed everybody?
It's big enough, I think, between the squid and that will be enough to kind of get you guys by today.
Now, technically, this is enough for everyone, but there's always a bigger fish.
Well, we shouldn't waste it if we've made it miserable already.
I don't know. It depends on the mettle of the fish. Or do you think they're up to it, Rad?
I don't know. You might be able to pull it off.
I don't know.
Maybe with our help.
I don't know if I'm
I
impressed.
feel like
yet.
you're trying to get me to do this out of spite.
I would never challenge you on spite, only on talent, and I haven't seen it
Well,
yet.
I've never fished before. Well, that's not true. I fished a couple times. I don't fish regularly, though. I'll try one more time. Here's this fish, and I'll pass it off to...
Yeah, alright, cool.
I'll take another piece of the squid that I have and chuck it out.
No, not just the squid. You gotta
No, I know. I mean, no, what?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get the whole...
You gotta
I'm not
catch
gonna
the
get the whole
mahi-mahi.
thing. No way.
You
I'm
use
not
the
doing that.
mahi-mahi to get a
That's
bigger
That's what I
fish.
was thinking.
You have to.
I don't have to
yeah.
do anything. If you want to do it, you can do it.
should.
I've got a fish for everyone to eat.
I kind of want to.
Not gonna
Alright.
catch anything bigger without the mahi-mahi.
Now I'm gonna do it out of spite. Fuck you.
That
So
easy.
you're gonna hunt.
Good.
Put the squid back on there.
Good.
That's an 18.
Yeah, you throw it out, and
Wanna hit it again?
yeah, roll me a d100.
Oh, that's a DM voice if I've ever heard one. 86.
I mean,
Yeah,
86.
Perfect.
this seems bad.
Even
What does
higher.
that number mean?
It's gonna be a big fish, dude.
Fish. Okay.
Oh no. What tiger bullshit shark are you about to pull up?
Dragon turtle.
Oh, fuck.
Dragon turtle.
That's it. TPK, everyone.
Roll me a strength check.
Alright, let's go.
What's on your line is big and heavy.
Well, do you have anything?
Strength 20, 30, 20.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, 19.
There
I'm
we
sorry.
go.
I was looking at Dex, 19.
You are just pulling and reeling, and like you get a good rhythm where you kind of like let it go a little bit, but kind of reel it in. You're pulling it back, and you're pulling it back. Eventually, like you pull it, and you feel something kind of bump up against the bottom of the hole. But you're at a point where you can't pull it any further. Seems that it's almost like underneath or attached to the bottom.
All right, captains, this is where you go in now.
Rad is going to stick his head, see if he can stick his head under water to see what's
By
there.
Rad, if this was Delta Green, you'd have no head now.
Oh no.
Roll me a Constitution save.
Oh.
What does that?
16.
As you stick your head underneath the water, and you're trying to see where you're like trying to find where the line goes. You're kind of almost underneath the hull, and you're looking, but you don't quite see something. But all of a sudden, you kind of feel this like sensation kind of come over you, as like you feel like your skin is kind of starting to harden, but it eventually kind of just fades away as you're able to kind of steady yourself. But you're tracing the line, and the line seems to go underneath the hull to like almost the opposite side of the boat.
Like it's left the water?
Not that it's left the water, because your head is sticking under, but you see that the line is kind of underneath one of the rungs, and it's like going towards the opposite side of the ship, as if like whatever's on the line has like swam underneath the boat.
I'm going to stick my head out of the water and say, I think we should cut the line and just stick with the mahi-mahi.
Well, no, you're the one that wanted a big fish. I've got a big fish.
I stuck my head underwater and I felt like it was trying to turn me to stone. Something bad is happening, dude. Just cut the line, and I'm gonna start like working on trying to cut it.
Trig runs to the front of the boat and he's like, what do I do with these?
I'll pull one of the daggers out and just cut the line.
Yeah, easy enough. You cut the line, the fishing rod snaps back. Everybody roll me a perception check.
I got
Big 7.
I have a 21.
I have a 25.
15.
Yeah, I got a 15 too.
You guys kind of like stop for a second as what Rad's startling news kind of just, you're wondering what it is or where it is. You kind of fan out across the ship, and you're listening. You're looking around. Xauti, you hear kind of something kind of swishing, like a bit of breach of the water on the side of the ship that you're on, as you hear kind of like a scratching or a scraping, like something's trying to get up on top of the hole, but it seems to kind of slip back down underneath in the water as you hear a small splash.
I'm gonna wave my hand and point at the side where it was.
Okay.
Wait, and see if we hear anything else.
Snuvall, as you approach Xauti and you're kind of standing next to them, you kind of dip into your senses as you're trying to feel out something, and eventually you feel a largish creature lurking underneath the water.
Anka, do you
Is it still
have
there?
that gust stone with you?
Of course, it's on the mast. We need it just about everywhere, so it stays with us.
I think you should activate it now.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the motor's already running.
No. Whatever you need to do to get us out of here faster, do it now.
I'll try and, punch the oars, use all my strength to try and get us moving fast. And I know the gust stone's probably already on, but if I can get in overdrive, I will.
Roll me a survival check.
Trig takes the three sticks of dynamite he has left and starts rolling a depth charge.
I have a 22.
You look at the wind and around you, and though the gust stone was primarily the source of what you've been using, you look and you can see that you could probably adjust the sails enough to catch it, to kind of add a little bit more speed with the current wind. As you go and take the pulley and you adjust the sails, it starts to kind of tilt. You guys are starting to move faster away from what Snuvall is feeling underneath your ship. As you kind of, as you start to move, you feel this like bumping and scraping off the bottom of your hole, as whatever this whatever this is close to the surface.
I'm gonna like kind of get over my being upset from earlier and like go back over by Baron and just not necessarily pick her up, just like be hovering to protect her.
I run to the back of the ship, and I have my roll of 3 dynamite sticks waiting, and I'm waiting to see if the thing is continuing to pursue us or if we're losing it.
I'm going to go to the side of the ship where the sort of like exit would be, the opening up into the ocean. I'm going to take some rope off of one of these sort of bindings off the side railings. I'm going to tie it around me as tight as I can. Double knot, sailor's knot, whatever I can do to make sure it's tight as fuck. And then I'm going to drop into the ocean to see if it's still following us.
Okay. You have water breathing still up.
Everybody's on the ship kind of listening and waiting to anticipate whatever this is. Trig, roll me a perception check as you're holding this depth charge in
16.
your hands. As you're continuing to look, the first thing you hear is a splash as you look back and you no longer see anchor on the ship.
I look awkwardly at the dynamite in my hand, and I'm like, well, fuck, now what do I get to do?
But as you do that and you look back and the ship's kind of moved on about 10 feet now and continuing to push away, you do see like a fin of some kind of breaching the water a little bit. It looks like it is attempting to pursue. Anchor, as you are under the water, you're trying to look for this creature. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Natural 20 plus 7 is a 27.
You don't feel anything as you're just continuing to look and search, as you kind of see a bit of the form of some creature. Looks like it's continuing to at least follow the ship.
Is there any of the bait left?
I think I kept 3 pieces. There's one. I think there was one that wasn't cooked.
Is there enough for me to wrap up this bundle of dynamite with?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try to.
Because you saved some for food.
Yeah,
actual
well,
food.
just in case, I'm gonna start rolling up a big old bundle of shark bait with a nice juicy dynamite core. Does that track?
That
okay.
Oh, yes.
It tracks for a lot of things.
Run back to the back of the ship. I assume it's still following us?
Yeah, you can still see the fin. It's like lurking. It's like stalking you guys more than trying to aggressively
All right,
attack
lunchtime, buddy. And if no one is going to scream any objections, I'm going to start striking the dynamite. I'm going to light it.
Staying back.
I'm going to put a nice long fuse on it so it'll go off after, it's on like a delay, hoping to get the shark to swallow it, and then I'll just kind of casually chuck it out behind us and cross my fingers.
Okay.
I'm gonna take out my war club and just play defense like it's fucking baseball or something. And then, I'm gonna smack this thing if it gets close to the ship.
I'm gonna take Baron as far away from the back of the ship as I can.
Shodi, you pull back towards the back of the ship as Anchor, you pull yourself up from underneath the water and ready yourself for anything. And Trig just chucks the depth charge into the path of this creature. And for a second, you see just the fins dip underneath as that depth charge eventually starts to sink. And you wait, and you're just wondering if it's gonna go off. And for a second, the time passes, and you think it's just not gonna.
Looks like we got ourselves a dud.
Did the water stop it?
And then it explodes.
Oh God!
As you just see just a boom as water just cascades up and just covers over the ship a little bit. Snuvall, you're wet. And there's little bits of chunks of meat and food and other stuff from whatever this creature was.
Okay, so it's for sure gone. This thing
Ned.
was exploded.
Problem solved.
I mean, you can infer that.
Okay, cool.
Baron is in Shodi's arms, and she's just going,
boom, boom, yeah, boom.
Do I have enough footage on my rope to get out there with a strong swim and collect the meat, whatever's left?
Sure, yeah, I'll let you do that.
Yes, I should be able to see, whatever's salvageable, I hope. 23.
You got them too.
Easy enough. You find pieces of part of this creature's like legs, some chunks of meat and stuff like that. Enough to feed you guys since you gave up the mahi mahi and I think most.
I did not give up the mahi mahi. I only cooked part of the squid. I was. Yes. I made a point to say, "Fuck you, we're keeping the mahi mahi to the boy."
Oh, okay. So yeah, between that you have some squid, you have some of this creature, and you have mahi mahi.
Do I have any idea what the fuck this thing?
You can roll me a nature check.
All I know, it was worth using up the last of the
not good.
Now it's a
This
buffet.
is where we get into the intelligence checks. I have an 8, which -1 is a 7.
As much as you know that there are just many types of strange and mysterious creatures that just live in the depths of Ashoka, you're not quite sure what it is, but it was big. From what you gathered from the debris that you collected, it was fairly large.
Okay. So,
I see him like trying to figure it out, and Rad's like, I think it was a dire shark.
could have been.
Had a fin and everything.
I climb my way back up into the ship, as hard as that is with the still moving ship and everything. And once I'm back up on the ship, I go over to Xauti and I drop every piece of refuse down at their feet, almost on them. And I go, "Here's your kill."
I don't think it's my kill. We worked together for it.
You were the fisher.
But I didn't pull it up.
You got the shark to swallow the explosives.
Well, we did it together.
Either way.
We got dinner together. That's nice.
Oh, is that what we were doing that for?
Well,
Oh, I thought I was just blowing up a
Yeah, it
shark.
was fun.
I think we were just messing around, but we did find dinner on the way.
well, it's a nice side effect then. Good job, everyone.
Is the fishing rod okay?
Besides a cut line.
Yeah, the rod is intact, but the line has been severed, so there's, unless you have anything to replace it, there is nothing to really use, like to cast with it.
Would I have anything on the ship for repairing it?
Roll me an investigation check, see what you got left.
That's a wet hot 6.
As you kind of look through the various compartments and stuff like that, it doesn't appear that you have any lines or any hooks left.
Damn.
Hey, just add it to the list of supplies that we
something
need
to
to
fix
get.
it. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I've fixed this thing more times than I'm happy to report. I made it myself.
Well, you did a great job. It worked really well.
Thank you.
Okay. You guys start preparing this food, begin to pass it around. Baron's just eating a large piece of fish and just kind of stuffing her face as she's enjoying it. And eventually it starts to trickle on into the late evening. You can still see the dark clouds of that storm that's kind of tracing the horizons. Above you is a very open and clear sky as it's just scattered with various parts of the stars and the nebula, and the moon's about half full. And just a faint glow that kind of passes along this dark sea. Is there anything you guys want to do before starting to take watch for the evening?
As I feel water breathing come to an end, I'll cast it again.
Roll me a d20.
Please don't.
Okay, it's an 8. It's fine.
Easy enough, you cast it.
At some point, I'll approach Anchor and say, Captain. How are you?
Correct.
How open would you be to some modifications?
To the ship?
Yeah.
Well, I've been traveling with the raft for quite some time. I'm fond of it. I made it myself, but I always think that modifications are important to any project.
I guess it's more of an addition more than anything else.
What are you thinking?
Something wonderful.
And
It's a surprise, but just tell me it's okay.
will it blow up my ship?
It'll blow up things next to your ship.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Great. I'll start planning immediately.
Just let me know if you need anything built. I'm good with my hands.
Good to know. And I'll scurry back off to the hut, and I'm gonna start kind of like tracing things out in my head.
What have I done?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
Kenny's gonna go back to her spot on like the hut roof and take out one of her gold coins, and if she has like a match, something small to light, she's gonna light it as long as she can and hold a coin and try to recap everything that's happened as quick as possible until the match burns down. It's sort of her like altar time, and that's just as long as it goes.
Okay. Baron's got some charcoal in her hands that she's found in Jodi's bag and is drawing on the sides of the raft wherever she can.
That's very pretty. Good job.
It's very good art.
Pat her head.
Better art than I could do. Very good.
I agree.
I'm gonna go across the ship from where she is, and I'm gonna cast Minor Illusion and just make like a tiny version of Saul, just like floating in the air.
No!
Oh boy.
That's what, 3 fucking times?
Roll me a D100.
That's why.
Oh
that's why
my
I went
God,
far away
no
from her
fucking
this
way.
time, though. I intentionally
That's
went
some
across the
conditioning
ship.
right there. We're learning.
But I wanted to-
Don't blow up this ship. This is now the 4th time you've had an option to blow up my ship.
76 trombones.
1 second.
What the
Oh,
fuck?
Shodi, first, before we get into that, because of your previous one, now that the night has kind of settled, you notice that your eyes are glowing in the dark, as well as the veins in your body. So you're kind of glowing a little bit, like a glow stick.
Fascinating.
As you're imagining the image of that matron's soul, you're kind of stuck on the word soul, sun, fire. You're thinking about it and thinking about it. Eventually, this small ring of fire just starts to burst around you and is now burning a hole into the ship.
Captain.
Damn it.
Put it out.
I'm gonna stomp
You guys
on
see
it.
a fire
I'll
starting
run
to
over
grow.
and I'll start kind of
Yeah,
using my
I'm
trench coat to
casting-
try to tamp it out.
Yeah.
Between all of you, you manage to
sorry.
get it before it starts to do some damage, but there is a significant ring 5 feet around of burn damage into the side of the ship and on the platform. And part
It's
of the
okay.
hull.
Sometimes I spontaneously explode too.
Maybe you should just like not do anything for the rest
I
of the
agree.
night, Shodi.
Yeah, sure. Shodi looks like they're just fucking close to tears, and they immediately go back to the corner they were sitting in earlier.
Do I have anything for repairing the boat on the boat?
Doing that investigation
not.
check, you didn't see much. A lot of your compartments are empty. I mean, there are other pieces of the board you might be able to use to repair it. There's not enough damage done to it that it warrants like full repairs, but you know, you do have a burn on the side of your ship.
Well, let's add it to the list.
After a few minutes, Rad's going to kind of realize his comment may have made things worse as opposed to better when it comes to Shodi. So he'll eventually, find his way over and sit and eventually say, I noticed you like collecting shells like me.
Yes. They're gonna like wipe their face really quick. I do. I like shells a lot. Here, and I'll pull some out and just kind of put them out in front of Rad and not look at him.
Yeah, those are cool. Here, what do you think about maybe trading?
Sure, that sounds fun.
I'll present one of them that's kind of unusual looking, like you wouldn't necessarily find it on a shore, and I'll say, I found this one like 100 meters below in a trench. You want it? I'll take it for that pink one
Right,
there.
yeah, that seems like a good trade. I found this one when I got off the first ship I was on. It was the first thing I saw. I thought it was really pretty. So here, let me trade.
Yeah, I'll make the trade, and I didn't mean to make you feel bad earlier when I said the whole
No,
thing.
I don't blame you. It's not.
It does seem like you're kind of like not totally in control, huh?
On some things I have a lot of control, and on everything else I've got no control.
Preach, sister, I know all about that.
Well, how long have you been able to do all your magic?
Me? Oh, well, since I came of age, I get my powers because I'm from a tribe of sorcerers that one person from the tribe gets the power and they're called the Herald, and then they go, to bring cool stuff back to the tribe, and that's where I get my powers from.
Does it come from inside you, or is it something outside, like Kenny?
It's inside. It's definitely inside.
Do I believe
You can
it?
insight check him if you want.
I would, yeah.
You can roll against that if you want, Sergio.
Yeah.
17.
I rolled a 16, so you actually
Ooh, shit.
beat me. I'm clearly like dodging and
Yeah.
not
I
deflecting.
feel like you're lying to me, but you're lying for a good reason. Or maybe not a good reason, for a reason you're not ready to talk about yet. So, I won't tell the others, but if you feel like talking about it,
Wow, you like really called me out there.
well,
I mean, sometimes lies are good, you know? They like protect people.
maybe so.
I promise it's not a lie that's gonna. I don't think it's gonna hurt
Oh,
you.
that's alright, I understand. Lying. I understand that lying is useful. I can't pretend that I don't. I'm not trying to make you talk about it or anything. I just wanted you to know that you don't have to lie if you don't want to.
It's easy for you to say. You don't know what I'm lying about.
That's true, I don't.
Look, how about this? If it ever comes to it, and you guys might be in danger, then I'll stop lying, okay?
That's
All right, I'm gonna go look at the waves now.
Alright, have fun.
Who's gonna take first watch?
I'll take first watch.
Snuvall, one more person.
I'll take first watch.
The evening starts to just wind down as things settle in. Baran finally curls up on the floor somewhere and falls asleep near you, Xauti. I assume everybody else is eventually heading off to sleep.
Yes.
Anchor and
Yeah.
Snuvall, roll me a perception check.
14.
I have a 10.
Rad, as you settle in for the night and fall asleep, you kind of drift away. You're standing on the raft and you're kind of looking out at the sea as if you were taking a watch. Eventually you see just the greenish ethereal glow of Conch as it eventually surfaces. Eventually her form just kind of transcends into a familiar form of your aunt, as her spirit is now staring upon you. It's just a turtle like you. She has a much wider shell that kind of has this net that's kind of cascaded on the back of it. And she looks at you with kind of a worried expression. And she says to you, I tried, but he knows you're here. And as you're looking at her, because you're standing above the ship and she's still kind of down in the water, you see a form breaching in the water, a shadow that seems to kind of grow and expand, what looks to be a jaw of some kind. And eventually it's just taking over the size of the ship, and it's just wrapping itself around as you feel and know that familiar presence of Hamukepa. As eventually the jaws breach around the ship, you just feel the swallowing of water and rushing as the ship just gets pulled into this void. And eventually you're just suspended and you're just kind of floating there. The ship is gone, all of your friends, even little Baran is just gone, and you're just straddled in this void. You start to make out in the distance the familiar large head of this dragon turtle, and it's looking at you, and its jaw is just kind of wide and open and just looking and staring at you very, very hard.
I think he's kind of saying to himself, this is just a dream. It's just a dream.
Eventually you hear a voice deep and pulsing through the water like a whale of some kind, and just like the sound of his voice as you hear the words in Draconic.
I know you're here in the Rokewood.
Hey, Hamukepa, yeah, just, coming on by, looking for treasure, the usual thing that the Herald does,
It's been too long.
I know, but I just haven't found a really, really worthy ship to bring to you, I'm just kind of waiting till that really sick treasure comes across.
He pauses for a second as you kind of just feel this like tremoring movement through the water as you hear this roar of some kind of the anger that is felt by this being. Eventually it settles and he says to you,
Bring me the ship that you are on and the cargo that you carry.
But there's nothing of worth, dude. It's just just a bunch of like weirdos and a little girl.
That same guttural roar, even more intensely, is kind of like shaking you through this ocean as he does not like your answer.
I think if, I know what I need to do to get at least out of this moment, and so I just kind of bow my head and say, the herald obeys.
Eventually, you just feel the rushing and the moving of the tides of water as you just pop out of this dream. Snuvall and Anchor, you guys have been just on the ship, just patrolling. Anchor, you're not quite paying attention as you're just more focused on continuing to push you and the rest of you forward towards the nearest island. But Snuvall, as you kind of eventually wander out to the platform and looking out to the open sea, you can kind of feel the pressure around you shifting as your smell just kind of starts to heighten as you feel that something is changing in the weather around you. You kind of look up and stuff like that, and you're noticing that the clouds are starting to really pull in, and the waves are starting to get unsettled and more choppy, and the wind is starting to pick up, and the sail is kind of now fighting as Anchor starts to feel the tension of the settling of the ocean. And as you're kind of putting that together, eventually you just hear the gasping of Rad as he dream, and you just hear something in the air. And what you see, Snuvall, is a blackbird with red eyes flying across the sky towards the storm, as you kind of see some residual lightning in the back and the trail ends that kind of shows its presence, kind of contrasting on the back of it. You can roll me a nature check or a religion check.
I have a 13.
You've heard many stories about the barbarians of Walraven and the deities that they worship. One of the deities is a deity known as Tararok. He is the god of storms, he is the god of fertility and warfare, is highly revered as one of the heads of the pantheons of the Walraven barbarians. One of the things that is noted of them is these birds known as storm birds. They're kind of servants, kind of acolytes of Tararok, and it is often said that where a storm bird goes, a storm does follow, as you hear its wailing cry sailing off as it disappears into these storm clouds, and you start seeing lightning kind of picking up as the sea starts to get very heavy and very choppy and very
I'm going to
storm-like.
rush over, jump, if anyone's in my way, I'm gonna jump over them or whatnot. I'm gonna rush over to Anchor and we'll be like, we have a massive storm coming our way.
Yes, it looks like we're going to hit it head on.
Is there anything that you can do to get us through this faster, safer?
I just have to pay special close attention to the boat, watch the waves, and pick the right ones. Outside of that, we have to weather it.
Do I see any rope nearby?
Yeah, I mean, there's various stacks of ropes that are used for the ship that are kind of scattered amongst the hut and the platforms and stuff like that.
Grab them and be like, I'm gonna wake the others. Maybe we should. Do we need to tie ourselves to the ship a little bit better to keep us from falling out?
You're welcome to. It's your choice. Sometimes it can be a little jarring if you've never been to sea like this.
I generally don't like to stay in sea too long.
Well, you're not going to enjoy this, and I'm sorry.
I can see that. I'm gonna go ahead and just start grabbing ropes. I'm gonna actually start waking people up.
Could you wake the captain? He'll want to know about this.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to. Okay, I'll go to Rad. No, I took it. I was just like, I was the captain. You're the captain. No, I'll go to Rad.
He's tossing and turning. Oh, dude, no, dude.
I'll gently. Rad, just I won't hurt him, but I'll just keep shaking until he wakes up.
When you shake me the second time, I just scream awake and grab you and just scream, Hamu Kappa! Hey! What's up, dude?
A storm's coming. We need, your co-captain needs you.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, yeah, I'll help you with that.
Yeah, right as you get up, you start to see heavy raindrops kind of starting to trickle down as you're kind of looking up at the sky, seeing the storm that has seemingly just pulled in out of nowhere.
What's the story, number 2?
I thought we were going to skirt it. For whatever reason, it came right on top of us. It looks like we're going to have to weather this storm for the night. You up for it?
Yeah, I can help you with that, sure.
You know the place. Right there at the mast. You keep the sails afloat, and I'll keep us on course.
All right. Could you check on everyone else while I take the wheel for a minute?
Sure. Yeah.
I just want to make sure everyone's tied down,
Of course. I pick myself up and wrap the tapestry around my waist, and I go down to help Snuvall wake everybody up.
Once I find myself alone in the front or
The
with
oars.
the what's the wheel? Yeah, the oars. I'm going to turn the ship in the direction that I know that it needs to go now. But I'm going to cast hallucinatory terrain, and what happens is basically all around the ship it looks in the direction that everyone else wants to go, but I'm going the direction that I need to go. And
Oh shit!
And I think it lasts for 24
Yeah, it
hours, I
does.
think.
Spook.
Yeah, as Anchor is waking people up slowly, issuing instructions about the storm and what we need to do to bunker down and get ready, Rad casts this
Son of a
spell
bitch.
as the terrain slightly alters for a second as he turns the ship around, but it turns into the same storm-like weather, but just in the same direction as he is now setting you guys off course.
I think to wake them all up, I do that weird, like, parent or dad thing where they stand over you until you wake up.
Do you wake Trig up?
Yeah, it's Trig first, for
I
sure.
got plenty.
I'm awake!
And I make sure to try and grab the crossbow so I don't fucking die. Trig, good evening. There's a storm.
I see. Did I shoot somebody in the face?
You almost shot me, but
Sorry. I'll just
I'm gonna
okay.
wake
walk
Kenny
out.
up.
Oh god. Oh, Kenny sleeps with 2 gold coins on her eyes.
Oh my god.
She's like starfished on top of the hut. She just, yep. What?
I'm gonna lift them 2 gold coins up.
Rude.
We have a storm coming. Wake up, and then I'm gonna put the gold coins back on her eyes.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. She's gonna like finish sleeping for like 2 minutes and then get up and start doing stuff.
She hits the snooze.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over to Xauti, or Shouty, and wake them up. Same way, just ominously standing over. There's a storm.
Why are you ominously standing over me?
Yes. I need you
storm.
to take the child and get into the hut, and you should probably stay there.
Okay. Yeah, alright. I'll load her up in my my would-be baby Bjorn.
Could you tell her if she wakes up that I'd like the inside of the hut decorated? It will keep her occupied.
Yes, I'll give
and
her
I'll
some.
take from my pack. I have like a series of like oil paints, and I'll give you the collection over to you.
Oh, that's sweet. I'll help her distract herself with that.
You do know how to paint.
I've sailed before. Do you need extra hands?
I think you're better with the child than the sails, and that's not discounting your sailing. That's complementing your relationship.
All right. I've done very little for her. Just all right. Yes. I can do that. Let me know if you need anything else. Is she still asleep, or is she?
She's
did
still
she wake
sleeping. For now, there hasn't been too much of a tussle, but you've managed to pick her up and kind of push her into the hut, and she's just sleeping next to you.
All right, Captain. Captains.
No, incorrect.
Everyone called you Captain, though.
That's okay. They're wrong.
Vice Captain.
Vice
This
Captain.
is your
Thank you.
opportunity to be right.
I'm very confused because you're telling me one thing and everyone else is telling me
Yes.
another thing.
Well, shouldn't it be?
I feel like this is also a discussion we can have later. Right, Captains? Co-Captain?
I've been in a
Vice
few
Captain?
storms. We have a few minutes before we die here. I'd just like to reiterate.
Oh.
I think the person who has the label should be in charge of the label, right? Like, you don't want me to go calling you like Goliath, right? Okay.
Well, I am, though.
Maybe that's not the best metaphor.
Just like you're a captain.
Okay, I'm gonna go steer the ship.
Okay, great. Good luck, Captain.
The rain's starting to pick up as it's starting to dump down as you step out onto the platform. Trig, Snuvall, Kenny, what are you guys doing before we really get into it?
You know that thing kids do when they're on a
Jesus.
school bus and they try to surf in the middle of the school bus?
Oh no.
That's what I'm doing.
Yes, I do. Okay.
Trig's just happy to be here.
Kenny's gonna
I feel alive.
position herself like in front of the hut. She's gonna try to protect the first client and make sure everyone's in sight in case she needs to regulate, but she's in front of the hut.
Rad, if you don't mind, I'll take over the oars and maybe you can do that trick you used in the harbor?
Yeah, totally, dude. Yeah, I can steer us even faster in the direction that we need to be heading. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. We'll be there in a couple of hours if our timing's
I'm
correct.
willing. Yeah. I'll spend my last spell slot to cast Control Water and move the ship using the water around us faster in the direction.
Snuvall's gonna make sure that Trig is tied to the mast or something. Like there's a rope on his. Literally, I'm just tying everybody to some part of the ship. I know someone's gonna die. I just got a feeling, so I'm just tying everybody up as quickly as I can.
Does anyone know a storm song?
Storm, 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 storm. There's a
Go
storm
away.
and it's happening.
Love this song.
And we're on the
I'm
ocean.
sorry, maybe-
Love
Sorry?
this song.
Rain, rain,
Oh, I
go
like that
away.
one. That's a good one.
Maybe my inflection was wrong. That was a joke.
Oh,
Even I did not pick up on that.
Sorry.
Rad and Anchor, roll me survival check.
I have an 18.
Storm, storm, storm.
18.
Noise.
I have a 19 plus 4, 23.
For the beginning part of this, the storm is making the ocean very uneasy, and there's a handful of waves that come rolling over you guys, but between you, Anchor, and Rad, you're both able to kind of navigate between and trying to keep the ship above. It's really starting to just push you guys up and down as you guys are kind of getting really unsteady. Trig, roll me a dex, roll me an acrobatics check, since you're over there fucking intentionally trying to jump.
That is gonna be a 17.
While everybody is either bunkered down or is focused on navigating through this, Trig is just having the time of his life as you dip down into the trough of a wave and you're going up, and as you're going up, he just like jumps up in the air, and it just like allows him to just get just a little bit more gravity on it as he just jumps down, and that's what he's doing for the beginning part
Rad,
of
am I
this.
doing
But
it
when
right?
you-
Trig,
Yeah, dude.
you should bottle the rainwater. It's good luck for storm.
Whatever you say, Captain.
Dude, don't call me that.
Right now,
what
my
are you using
hands.
to collect that rainwater? Even though the rain is starting to get heavy and it's dumping, Trig is just out there collecting rainwater with his hands just above his head, and in between that, jumping between the waves and stuff. Rad and Anchor, roll me another survival check. Kenny, Snuvall, are you
I
doing
just
anything?
want to go around and cast guidance on everybody. I'm just going to. I have to actually touch them, so
Okay.
I'm just going to take a little walk around the boat. Cast guidance.
I have a natural 20, which is a 24.
Nice.
Dude, I rolled a natural 20 plus 4 too.
Wow.
Sorry, something sailor's gonna happen. You got like
Steamboat Willie over
fucking
here.
unicorns
Oh
gonna
my
show
god,
up at
that's
this
what,
point.
like a
Wow.
1 in 400 chance?
Come
Yeah,
on,
we touch fingers and fuse.
Yeah.
We turn into one creature.
You guys-
Anchorad.
Hang Brad.
Red core?
Half turtle, half
Red,
dead.
red core.
if there's a tsunami, the ship is riding the waves like that.
Between the both of you, you guys spending so much time at sea and being on the waters and navigating with this ship, it's almost like effortlessly. You're just riding these waves. You know exactly where to go and what to do as you go over one wave and go down another. Kenny, roll me an acrobatics check to see how dexterous you are as you're slowly tapping guidance on everybody as the ship
We're
is
making
very
good
unsteady.
time. We should be there soon.
That's a 5.
Yeah.
Oh no.
One of the waves is very large, and as you guys are going down, there's just that bit of gap of where you like all of a sudden you feel lift as you're just suspended for a second, and then you just slam hard on the ground, and you land on your side as you try to
Fun, ain't it?
get yourself up.
No, not fun. She starts like army crawling to everyone to finish casting
Hey,
guidance.
Eli, I have a question. Is the wind blowing across my face in the direction that I would expect it to do expect it to be, given the direction that we're traveling in.
Sounds like a map.
What do you mean, like?
Like,
we're
are we going
like
like, do I know that we're supposed to be going, like, with the breeze, and now I feel like we're going to the side of the breeze?
Roll me an investigation check.
Ooh.
Which for Trig is pretty high on an intelligence roll. 8.
The wind is just kind of blowing it almost seems in all directions. It's very hard to tell exactly where it's going.
Everything seems fine to me.
Snuvall, roll me a perception check. Shodi, are you doing anything with Baran in the hut?
I'm probably just still humming storm, 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 storm.
I have an 18.
An 18. As you're kind of on the platform of the ship, and you're just bracing yourself, the waves are just tossing you back and forward, and it is keeping you unsteady. You eventually feel something. The feeling of like electricity generating around you. You can sense like the hairs on your braids starting to kind of cool and stand up.
What can I do? Do I know what's about to come down on me?
You feel the charge of
That's
electricity.
That's what I fear. I mean, like, I'm just gonna be like, oh shit, can I just do a warning?
As you're figuring out what to say, all of a sudden you just hear a crack and just a large bolt of lightning that just kind of cracks across the sky, but it hits over and strikes the front part of the mast of your ship as you hear an explosion and just fire erupting as you're holding on to the pulley that holds that sail together. All of a sudden it just goes loose as it's no longer anything attached to it. As you can see that part of the mast and the sail has kind of deflated a bit, or it's just like moving rapidly with the wind, and part of the rope has been severed on the top of the mast.
Shit's fun, dudes!
I'll run at it. I know how to fix things, and I'll run at it, and I'll try to patch it up as best I can.
Okay. Roll me a straight intelligence check. Do you know how to build stuff?
I do. I have proficiency with Tinker's tools. So intelligence then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, intelligence. With your tinker tools, I'll give you advantage because you're using your tools.
Okay, so that with advantage, that's gonna go ahead and be, well, that's gonna be a 14.
You assess the damage and you see that a lot of what the problem is that the lightning, the mast seems more or less intact, though it looks like it's on the verge of breaking. There is a bit of fire damage that is kind of around that area, and parts of the platform has kind of been splintered and broken from this lightning. The most important part of it is that the rope and the line has been kind of slightly severed, so you reach out to it and try to grab it and try to find a way to kind of bring it together as you're trying to reconnect it so that the sail can take wind again.
Is it just like the rope got severed that I just need to like lash it back together type of a deal?
Yeah, but as you kind of pull it together, you realize that the rope is just a little bit too short to each other, as part of it has been kind of destroyed as you're just kind of holding it like piece to piece.
Wait, can I do that? Can I just try to use my own weight to keep the sail intact? Like, can I just like try to keep holding it together for as long as I can?
You can roll me a strength check or an athletics check and see how you fare to that.
He is like basically near me within 30 feet maybe. Like I have mage hand. I would maybe like just give him that little bit of extra strength.
Yeah, you cast your mage hand and as Trig, as you're holding onto it and you can feel it like slipping through your fingers, and just before it like lets go, you go and like try to reach it again, and as you do that, this nice little glowy hand just wraps around your hand at the same time as you guys pull it. You're able to kind of keep the rope steady. If you're gonna attempt to keep doing this, we'll have to keep rolling strength check.
It's a miracle. I can keep doing this all day.
But Rad, you feel the tension coming back to the line and stuff like that as the sail has picked up the wind again. Both of you roll me survival checks, and Kenny and Snuvall roll me perception
I call out to
checks.
Trig, yes, but that's what the rope is for.
My hands are a little busy.
9 on perception.
9 on perception.
6.
I rolled a 21 on survival.
I got a 19.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more tension between it now with the way that the sail is being held together by Trig, but you guys are both able to continue to make it work. But as
I was gonna say, the rope that was wrapped around me, is that still, I was about to say I'm still attached to it.
Yeah, you're still
correct?
attached to it.
Alright, I'm gonna start untying it so I can give them more rope.
As you're untying it, you're not able to kind of pay attention to what's going on around you. And even you, Kenny, as you're trying to pull yourself up, you're not noticing what's going on around your world or your circumference. Brad and Anchor, as you guys get over this last wave, you realize that you guys are kind of dipping a little bit deeper than you have been. And as you guys are kind of holding on to the pulley and the oars, you see some lightning kind of crack across the sky, and it kind of illuminates on the back end this giant wave that looks like it's way too tall and way too large, and it might be too big for your ship to go over.
I think everyone should abandon ship, dude. I think everyone should just get out.
Can't you part the waves? What?
I've already burned that spell, dude.
We'll be fine. Charge at it head on.
I'm gonna start ripping, like untying everybody fast, because if we're going, we don't want to be dragged
Eli,
down.
Anchor's a better sailor than I. Is there something we could do that doesn't involve losing this
You
ship?
could try, yeah, totally.
Okay.
There's a couple of things.
Is there anything I could draw to memory or roll for?
Roll me a history check.
It's a 17, but with a -1 it's a 6.
You've been in situations like this before where waves are sometimes too big. You think that with enough speed you could probably push yourself over this wave. If not, you could just try to at least go front and vertically as to not allow your ship to be capsized, as you can hopefully maybe ride the wave up high enough to get around it. But those are pretty much the only two options.
We need to go as fast as possible. We need more speed behind it. I think we can make it, but we have to go faster. I need something, anything, and I start, ripping the fucking oars as much as I can.
Trig starts blowing on the sail.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, I had control water on. I think it lasts for 10 minutes, so I don't know if it's still on. But if it is, I would just use it to make
Yeah,
the
we're
ship
within
move
10
a little
minutes, but you
faster.
can feel that the water is
Okay.
slowly pushing or like draining away, so you might have one little burst left.
Can this work? I know this is weird, but for Step of Wind, I can use like a dash to go twice as fast. Can I get behind the damn ship and push it using the key to help it move faster?
Speedy Gonzalez.
You can if I cast Water Walk on you.
Oh, shit!
Now.
There you go. Now we're thinking.
I could just use my key point right there and just use that.
Is this what you're gonna try to do?
Yes. Okay, then I have 2 spells for you. Kenny's gonna run, seeing what Snuvall's going to do, and cast Water Walk. She's also going to cast Enhance Ability. And what are you doing? You're running? Okay.
I can either run or push, because technically I double my speed.
Okay, then we'll put some strength on it then we'll use full strength.
Yeah.
So you roll with advantage on strength checks.
Amazing.
Oh, and give you the same.
Awesome.
Nice. Okay. Okay, well, fuck.
Yeah,
You
we're
like
just
when
as
you got for
fucking,
GMing for us.
we're just as fucking confused as you are, we promise.
Yes.
Well, that's what I'm saying, like, because dash, I just needed it.
No, I like it. I'm not saying that it's a bad idea.
Wow.
Yeah, as
I'd like to, if we get to this point, if this happens, if we crest the wave, obviously we're gonna have a lot of lift on the other side because we're going faster. I would like to position the rudder all the way to the right so that the ship pivots in the air and then lands horizontally down the wave to hopefully soften the blow and also Tokyo drift that bitch.
Yeah.
Heart.
Shokyo drifted, bitch. Let's go.
roll me a strength check, as that requires more of strength than survival. And Snuvall, roll me a strength check as well for your push.
With advantage?
Can I also
yeah,
do
you rolled
one
advantage.
thing?
Sure, Xauti. What would you like to do as well?
hearing that we're trying to get more speed, Xauti would like to go to the back of the
Oh my
boat
fucking
and cast
God.
Thunderwave off the back of it to jettison us.
This is
10
great.
feet.
Why wouldn't? Yeah.
Sure.
Don't mind me. I'm just gonna keep holding this sail
Sure.
together.
Oh.
Trig's gonna fucking die.
Wait.
Trig, roll me a strength check.
Had something for that too.
I already rolled. I get a 9.
He's just like on the deck, right? He's not in the air.
Yeah, he's kind of suspended between this sail and stuff like that. He's not like all the way up in the air, but he is like
His feet are just like an
off
inch above the ground.
Like stretched, like
I'm
he's
gonna,
like
like-
stretched across.
If it's possible
wiggling
to
at this
climb
point.
Trig and cast Mending,
Please.
that would be great.
Roll me, yeah, roll me an acrobatics check or athletic check to climb, scale him.
Okay.
By the way, with advantage, I had a 23.
23 for advantage. Snuvall,
23
23.
Yeah.
Right
with 9.
If I cast Thunderwave at a higher level, will it push us further, or will it just fuck things
Oh,
up?
we're gonna fly,
on.
bitches.
You can roll it at whatever levels you think might help you.
We'll go middle of the road. We'll go second level. We'll do a second level thunder.
You're gonna run this boat.
I agree. I mean, we're already committed to this.
Oh,
What was your roll,
that was a
Kenny?
nice 10. Perfect 10.
Nice. Perfect 10. Rad, was there anything you wanted to do alongside Anchor?
I'm keeping the ship going.
Kenny, you run up to where Trig is and you start to climb him. He's very wet and slick from the rain and the sea, and it's a little hard for you to do it, but you manage to at least get up around his shoulders as you see this like mage hand and him just like holding on for dear life as you're seeing that it's like he's about to slip from it, but before it just snaps out of his hands, you do manage to kind of mend it as the rope twists together and secures itself back in place. Snuvall, and before, as Kenny scrambles away from you as she's like giving you all of these abilities, you immediately jump out onto the ocean, and what you think for a second, like as like your feet lift the ground and stuff like that you're gonna just dive straight into water, but eventually you just find perches on like what feels like solid land, but you can feel on your feet just the water. It just feels wet on your feet, but you
There's a little growl there.
it's a little annoying, but you kind of like settle that in and use that as the momentum as you kind of put your hand on the back of the ship and you just start running and you just start pushing, and it seems to on some level make the ship just go a little faster as you're just pushing it harder as the ship is starting to ride up the face of this wave. Rad is holding the sail as secure as he possibly can. Anchor, you just decide to just slide all the way across as far as it goes, and Rad is just watching him just push into it and just turn it as you see the ship is starting to slide just a little bit on the side of this wave, but between the momentum of Anchor shifting the oar and between Snuvall's push, it doesn't seem that it's quite enough as the wave is starting to crest. But Xauti, you realize, and you kind of peek your head out and you just notice all of this is going on, and you see the wave and you see how it's curling and it looks like it's just about to clap down on you. You just rush out to the back of the ship and you just kind of take both of your hands and bring them together as you cast Thunderclap. Roll me a d20.
It's an 8.
God. What would happen?
I don't know.
Xauti, you crack both hands together as this giant pulse just juts out from around you. Like it goes, everybody feels it as it just rattles everybody. But it seems to just push you guys even further as like just as you do that, Rad, you have just enough energy in your control water to curl back that bit of the wave as you guys manage to jump over this large fucking wave.
Nice.
Yeah, fam.
I feel like that's where we should end today.